Hi Aries, thank you so much for joining me. This is going to be a general reading for Aries, Sun, Moon, Rising, and Venus. Well, I shuffle your crowning energy, the wisdom of the oracle. I want to just discuss a couple of things that are going on in the sky. We have 13 different transits going on, guys. I'm not going to talk about all of them, but there are a couple of them that I do want to mention. If you don't want to hear the astrology part, no problem, just fast forward until you see me pulling the cards, okay? All right, so the last reading I did, I ended on that full moon at 21 degrees of Pisces, September 13th into the 14th. And I do want to start with that again, only because we do have so many planets in this full moon, and it's really going to be very profound for all of us. It's going to be a feeling of fullness and completion, and there is going to be a lot of drama along with it. And, you know, I'm not going to lie, but it's really ultimately very positive because we're being made to look at where we maybe have been sabotaging ourselves and getting really real about maybe something we haven't wanted to look at or even realized that we needed to look at. Okay, so that's going to be happening. And then Mercury and Venus in Libra opposing Chiron and Aries in the 15th to 16th. That might be a little uncomfortable, a little bit of conflict, but guys, it's not going to last. It's all just part of the process. But two things that are really positive that are happening this week, this month for sure. The 18th, we have Saturn direct at 13 degrees of Capricorn. There's a lot of karma being sorted out here. This is wonderful just because Saturn's been retrograde since April 29th. And now a lot of these blockages that we've been feeling since back in April, they're going to be lifted, and we're finally going to have the green light to start moving forward in any area that we felt blocked in. So it's really good, and we have a couple of trines going on to support that, so really good stuff. We do have September 23rd, the fall equinox, great for manifesting. I lied, I said two things. This is going to be three things, because the third thing, September 28th, new moon at 5 degrees Libra with Venus in Libra sextile Jupiter in Sag. What does that mean? That means newness in our relationships of all kinds. Okay, did get a couple of questions from another from a viewer from another reading. You know, can you define relationships? And guys, relationships is anything that consumes your heart space. So that could be intimate, friendship, family, a really close colleague, any relationship where you're sharing your heart sector. There's going to be newness in relationships right now. It's, even though we still have this Neptunian influence throughout the month, we're going to feel a lightness, a progression moving forward. Even if we don't have absolute clarity yet, we are going to feel this idea of moving forward. But what I really like about this full moon in Pisces, just this whole month actually, is we're really going to be looking at our stuff and figuring out how we could fix things if things can be fixed. So I really do like that. It's all really positive. Okay, so now we're going to get into the crowning energy, and we're going to talk about these two cards, guys. I do want to say before I pull anything, I keep hearing to the left, to the left, to the left, like kind of like that Beyonce song, but to the left now, depending on where you're from, you know, I'm not getting it as in like the Russian version or the French version of to the left, which means that basically that's a saying where, if I'm not mistaken, the husband is cheating on the wife or someone is cheating on somebody. I have it's just, but it's to the left more within our societal context, meaning something's changing and something is needing to be looked at, and that there's conflict. And I've been getting this, I have to tell you, since last night, because I knew I was going to do you guys today. And then in the premeditative shuffle, these two cards popped out, 2 of Cups and 5 of Wands. You know, this is, you know, arguments in a relationship. Now, I want you to know I'm doing this on September 11th. I'm meditating on this time period as the last 2 weeks of September, but the energy doesn't know the difference. So you guys might be in this space, you might be going into the space more into October, but if that's resonating with you, this is what came out. So I am going to put these back in and shuffle. But first, let's talk about this crowning energy, okay? Chaos and conflict, okay. So, chaos and conflict. So the essential meaning here is being at cross purposes with another. Yeah, so I mean, this is, right? This is what we just got here. Cross purposes with one another. It's like the tension of opposites, but there's value in this. This is about opposing forces coming together to create some sort of turbulent atmosphere before a higher good, if that makes sense, you know. And, you know, whenever we get caught up in a scattered kind of chaos that we feel really confused in and just like things are weird and not okay, that's usually for a bigger reason, right? I mean, it's so that we could just shed the dead wood of what we don't need anymore, those parts of ourselves that we no longer need, right? So that we can somehow reinvent ourselves or reinvent something in our life that we're dealing with. And even though the conflict might appear external in this energy, a lot of it is internal. It's internal, but it's projected outward, causing some issues external to you. So you might find yourself at cross purposes with somebody else or with yourself. But I feel like a lot of you are going to be facing something that you really feel like you can't control. But this is going to pass. I promise you that. You know, and sometimes the reordering of things after chaos helps us to see things differently. You know, where you might just need to step away from all of the drama to just look at things in through a different perspective. Because stubbornness can be keeping you in a state of opposition, Aries. The incessant need to be right is only going to serve to prolong a conflict that you might be in, that deep down you really want to be resolved. You don't want to be in conflict. Who wants to be in conflict, right? So this is a great time to really evaluate your values, your sense of self, what's really important to you. Because some things are non-negotiable. I think we can all agree on that, right? So if that's true, it's not necessary to fight. If you think about it, you know, if you know how you feel and you know how they feel, then it's more a matter of compromising than fighting. So can you find a way through the stormy emotions to a higher ground? Because if you do, this energy is all about that being very positive for things to settle down and there to be some sort of like electric enlightenment brought back to the situation. But you have to use this energy constructively. Is even though things might seem chaotic, everything that's happening now in this energy is in truth shaking things up so that you can find the real path to your prosperity and where you're supposed to really, really be going. Because you would not be getting this energy if everything was fine. This chaos and conflict is necessary for things to be different. I will tell you this too about this Pisces full moon. Change is happening in relationships. It is. So that these popped out, no shock to me, and that you got this crowning is no shock to me. Absolutely. Definitely happening. It's happening in relationships, yeah. All right, so my last reading, I did a Celtic cross spread. So this time we're going to do things a little differently. I'm going to actually pull cards, 2 cards for you for the past, and then 2 cards for a person or a situation external to you that's on your mind the most right now. So for some of you, that might be a job. For others of you, it might be an intimate relationship. For many of you, I'm getting a lot of parents at conflict with their children. Getting a lot of that the past couple of weeks. So you apply it however you see fit, guys, because these are general readings. So you take what resonates, throw out the rest. And of course, the energies can be flipped. If you're new to tarot and you're not too sure of that, energy doesn't understand one person to the next when we have energies that are enmeshed. All right, because it's an energy field. It's not like it has walls, right? Okay. I have to look away because I'm creating my own narrative by just looking at the cards that are stopping. All right, let's get started. I just feel pulled to see what's splitting. What's splitting? 7 of Wands, 4 of Wands, reverse. Okay, so end of a cycle, lack of feeling of strong foundation. So I'm going to look at this positive and say that, Aries, if you're in a situation where you've been feeling really unsettled in your foundation of your life, of your job, of your relationship, that time period is coming to an end. Okay, so I do like that. Why can't I shuffle? Why can't I shuffle? I feel a lot of wonky energy with you today, Aries. Why? How come? All right, let's pull 2 cards for your past and 2 for this person or situation in their past. This is going to be present. 2 for you. 2 for them. These are going to be fears. Okay, and then we're going to do a sweep, and then I'm going to do blockages and outcome. Okay, so let's see if we can get some information here. Oh, look what came up again. 7 of Wands reverse now, okay, and a 6 of Pentacles. So this tells me that, yeah, you were in a space of feeling like you were not connecting with someone or a situation, because the 6 of Pentacles is all about connecting and bonding. So this could be someone, if this has to do with a job, this could certainly be you in the past being in a space of feeling very hopeful about making money, about a certain career choice coming to fruition. You were feeling very optimistic in the past about this, but something happened that shook your security, that really got in the way of you feeling that the cycle and the path that you're in and on was for your ultimate good. You started to really not trust it, is what I'm getting in the past, okay? Because the 7 of Wands here in the reverse, the 7 of Wands upright just indicates moving forward in a new cycle, right? But here, this is telling me not moving forward in a new cycle in a healthy way. And with the 6 of Pentacles, that tells me it's because you either were in a relationship that you did not feel well connected to, because Pentacles is money, resources, but it's also mental bonding, emotional bonding, and how we connect to one another. Right? I like to think of it kind of like that eighth house, like bonding energy. So I'm Aries, I'm getting that you were in a space of that you really wanted to feel connected to a person or a job or a situation, but something was happening that made you feel very vulnerable and insecure. You weren't feeling good about it at the very least, because when those wands are reversed like that, that shows lack of movement forward. There's delay there, and that could even be lack of motivation, right? So that's what I get for you. Now, for the person or situation that you were dealing with, 9 of Wands, and then we have the Knight of Wands reverse. So this tells me that somebody was either manipulating you, or they were definitely feeling a delay in movement forward. But I do feel, because it is the Knight, which is strong movement forward and words are well, I feel like that you were dealing with a person or a situation that was putting the brakes on something and you guys progressing forward in a certain way. And, but I feel like they weren't telling you the truth in this way, because then we have this 9 of Wands energy, which is all about, you've been through it and now, but you're not giving up, and you have this will to just move forward. And I feel like this person was telling you that, like presenting you with a situation where you were led to believe that things were ultimately going to end up being a different way. I don't want to say this, but I am getting this vibe of it being like a lip service kind of energy here. Yeah, I am getting a lip service energy, but I feel like this is where you were. So let's see where we are now, and then we'll pull some cards for some more information. So I'm getting right now, Aries, is you have this Judgment reverse and the 7 of Swords reverse. Okay, let me tell you right now, Aries, you are recognizing that someone is being dishonest with you, or you're at least getting the feeling that somebody is being dishonest with you. We have the Judgment reverse. Judgment reverse is all about assessing and evaluating everything that's gone up to now. And have you been moral? Have they been moral? Has everyone been honest, like really dead honest? And I'm getting no, because we have the 7 of Swords in the upright is the thievery card already, right? But it's about, this could be obviously literal thievery, but I'm not getting that at all here. It's what is he doing? He's stealing the swords. What are swords? Swords are words. Swords are thoughts. Swords are truth. He's stealing the truth. But when it's reversed, this is somebody who is gaslighting and deflecting, and I always use the word bastardizing, where they're taking your words and they're putting a different spin on them. And I'm getting that you're dealing with this. Now, Aries, this could be you doing it to someone else, but I am getting it very strongly because we have the Judgment reverse here, that this is something that happened to you or something that you're dealing with in your life. This could be an intimate other, or it could be a colleague at work or a boss, but you just really coming to this realization that you're in a situation that is not ultimately good for you how it is right now. Okay, now, again, this could be you doing this to someone else because it's just this realization that this thing is not working. Now, to be fair, the Seven of Swords reverse, when I say it could be you or it could be them, this could also just be how it's being perceived by each of you. And the reason I'm saying that only is because we have so much Neptunian influence, which is like trying to look outside through a very dirty window or trying to see clarity in the fog. So I do get for many of you, this is going to be just a classic case of wild misunderstanding and just really bad communication. Because whoever you're dealing with is they're having a lot of anxiety about this. They want to love you. They want to give you their heart, give you their soul connection, but they're feeling very anxious about it, almost like they're being stopped or they're being halted in some way. And what I'm getting here is that they feel like they can't give you their heart in the way that they would really ultimately like, because something is going on here. I'm getting very much a Three of Swords energy. I feel like there's a situation that's happened external to either your situation or an external situation in your job that has gone down, that has created a significant amount of stress for both of you. They're not handling it well, but I don't feel like you are either. There's a lot of conflict here I'm getting a lot of conflict here right now. But let's look at the fears. Okay, so what are you scared of? You're scared of dishonesty, and you're scared of not being able to bring something to fruition with someone. The Empress is the mother of the zodiac. This is all about cultivating, planting a seed, cultivating and bringing something to fruition and birthing it, and then doing that all over again in another beautiful way, within the context of your life. And getting that, Aries, you feel like someone is not being honest with you, and that because of that dishonesty and because of their ability to be fair-minded, I am getting a lot of anger issues here too. A lot of you might be dealing with a lot of anger issues either yourselves or with your partner. But whatever it is, it's getting in the way of you being very open and honest and feeling like you're getting that back in return. So much to the point where you feel like you're not going to be able to cultivate a situation and really, arrive and be able to manifest what you really want to with this person or this situation. And they're feeling they're feeling like it's not going to happen either. But with this Four of Cups reverse, this tells me that you're dealing with a very stubborn individual, Aries, okay? Because the Four of Cups upright, I call that my checklist card. It is the card where it says, okay, I've been hurt and I'm disillusioned in this relationship. And so moving forward, I'm never going to let that happen to me again. So I'm going to require A, B, and C for that next person to either do or possess in order for me to agree to be in a relationship with them, right? And with the reverse is telling me that there's this real strong lack of willingness, though, to open up. And I am getting, though, because even in the upright, the understanding here is that this person believes that they're more ready for an opportunity, meaning your relationship, or they're more ready maybe to enter into a business partnership with you, or to offer you a certain line within your career where they feel like they're more willing than they're actually really willing to be. And the kind of situation the way they don't even really realize it, and it's because of a scar from their past. So maybe they've been burnt in the past by someone or something, and they're feeling very trepidatious about it, and they really don't want to move forward. And the fact that we have the Seven of Pentacles reverse just tells me that they don't want to grow, they're not willing to grow something with you. Okay, there's this feeling, they're fearing that they're not going to be able to grow something with you because they're afraid of you not being able to meet their standards. This is all about them feeling you not being able to meet their standards in one way or another within the relationship or the job or whatever situation you're involved in, and them honestly feeling like they're not going to be able to grow something with you. So we do get a lot of conflict here, but rather than trying to qualify this, let's just go right into your blocks, right? Because I feel like we're going to get a lot more answers in those blocks, I feel like. Because whatever happened, happened already, but now let's find out, you know, now moving forward, what are we dealing with? That's a lot more, that's going to be a lot more helpful to you than to talk about generalities of things that happened in the past, right? All right. So let's see what we have here. Okay. Okay. So these are your blocks. Blocks for you, blocks for them. Blocks for you, blocks for them. Outcome, outcome. Probably going to pull more. All right, so you block, Aries, you're not tapping into your intuition. I feel like you're not trusting your intuition. You feel like you're not trusting your intuition, and your thoughts are blocking you. So this tells me that you're doing a lot of either ruminating about the past, about something that's happened. I'm getting kind of like a hamster wheel energy with this Queen of Swords as a blockage. You're having a hard time accepting something as the truth. You're having a hard time sitting down and openly communicating with someone because you're just not sure if you can trust it. You just don't know. And that really is the energy, really, until this the Pisces full moon settles. And once the Saturn goes direct, and then we get into that newness of the new moon, you're going to be feeling this for sure. I do feel like that's definitely a block. Now, a block for the person or situation you're dealing with is, you know, the Fool is all about willingness to take that leap. So there's a lack of willingness here. And again, Knight of Wands reverse is also a lack of willingness as a reverse, as a blockage energy. So we need to figure out, why is there this unwillingness? Why is this unwillingness? Aries, you're not feeling very strong within your own space. You're not feeling because it's in your blockage. And we have the Tower reverse in the block. Okay, this tells me, this is right here, the whole story. The Tower reverse indicates to me that a situation has ended as it was. Now, for those of you who've been watching me know, I don't believe in absolutes in tarot because we have free will, and if both parties involved in a situation want something, they can work it out. Now, this Tower reverse can very well be, Aries, you deciding to just leave a situation that has fallen apart because you know it is just no good for you anymore, and you are not going to get what you need from it. For others of you, this can be the recognition that you need to reframe reality, you and your partner, and how you've been doing this relationship. You need to reframe how you've been conducting your job, how your relationship has been with a business partner, how your relationship has been with a friend or a family member. Now, again, this could be a complete cutting off and walking away, but at the very, very least, it means that however the relationship has been up until this point, it can no longer return to that. Because if you do, you're going to be like two hamsters on a hamster wheel going round and round and round. And you don't want to do this in this energy. This is a great energy we have right now, guys, to figure shit out, because we don't have any retrogrades for these last 2 weeks, right? Things are finally going direct, and before the retrograde season hits again, it's a great time to really get honest, right? So this is, you're recognizing that something is over, and whoever you're dealing with is feeling very nostalgic with the Six of Cups reversed, and they're tending to reflect on things in the past with rose-colored glasses, as I say. And they're giving it a lot more positivity than it really deserves. And this person needs to understand that the past is the past for a reason, and they need to leave it back there, and they should not bother glorifying anything to make it bigger or better than it was, because it wasn't, and it's not. Okay, so that's what I'm getting that some people are doing. And then we have the Page of Pentacles reverse. So, you know, this is this unwillingness to move forward in a bonding way. This is an unwillingness to open up and be honest and bond. So as the outcome, we have the Nine of Wands energy, and we have the Five of Pentacles reverse. So, you know, this is just telling me that there is a lack of willingness and a lack of openness to bond right now, to bond. But I have to tell you, Aries, I'm getting a lot of fear and a lot of stubbornness and a lot of ego-driven nonsense. And the thing is, with your crowning energy of chaos and conflict, it supports the chaos and conflict, but for you to have some sort of more positive outcome. King of Swords reversed, Four of Swords, karma. All right, yeah, listen, Aries, somebody is lying to you. Somebody is lying to you. You're so ready to have that bonded connection with somebody. You really are. You're just so ready. But you're in this space of like waiting to see. With the Four of Swords, it's all about, you know, healing, first of all, from a pain, from the Three of Swords energy. And it's sitting and waiting, making a decision, realizing that you've been through so much. And you're in a space right now of just trying to figure out the truth of going forward. And karma is coming to rear its head. And that is all about that Saturn direct at 13 degrees of Capricorn on the 18th. Karma's going to be hitting. Karma's going to be hitting. Yeah. All right, let's get some outcome energy. Spirit, is this situation that Aries is dealing with going to have a positive outcome? Will this chaos and conflict ultimately bring communication and a positive outcome? Yes. Yes. Okay. Yes. Okay. I'm sorry. I got to pull more. Spirit, please tell me what Aries needs to do. All right. Ten of Cups means beautiful abundance, communication, deepening of a relationship. King of Pentacles means a beautiful bonding. This is what you have to do, though. Stop fighting. Stop fighting. Get to the bottom of the lies. If you're lying, if they're lying, let's just understand, is it actually lying or is it actually just a bunch of misunderstandings? Have the arguments. Deal with the chaos and conflict. Five of Swords is all about conflict, but it's all about no one really winning. And the Two of Cups is you guys sharing. You guys sharing these things. Getting into the argument, having the conflict together, going through the chaos and conflict, yes, but then get it all out, sweep it, and then let the sun come in and let it illuminate the beautiful parts, and you guys sit down and have the conversation of how to move it forward. If you want it, Aries, you have free will. The energy ultimately supports this. Unless you guys are in a situation, again, I have to give multiple perspectives of what I'm getting. If this Tower reverse, which by the way, the reverse only means a lot of drama with the ending, a lot of bitterness, a lot of anger, a lot of betrayal involved in this, okay? That's what the reverse means here. So if you feel that this is ultimately irretrievable, but I want to tell you something, we're in a season where even when it looks completely dead, the craziest things can go on to revive things if they're meant to be revived, because we're dealing with very faded energies this month, guys, very faded. So depending on what your situation is, if you feel like you're working with someone who is ultimately good for you, and this is something that you ultimately want, there's going to be conflict. It's going to be necessary, though. There's nothing wrong with conflict. There's nothing wrong with chaos if it's not all the time. But I get that you guys need to have a mutual respect for each other. Don't get dirty. Don't fight dirty. Really share your cups. Share your cups. You know, and really blend. This is a very like alchemical card, right? Blend your needs and your desires for the relationship, and find a new and a new normal. A new, yes, September 28th, new moon of 5 degrees Libra with Venus in Libra sextile Jupiter and Sagittarius. Yes. Aries, that is what I have for you. I'll see you guys next time. Thank you so much for joining me. Bye-bye.